What's in the box? Hi, it's me, Wang. I've got an unboxing video. This is a loan from Jerry. Jerry Hom has lent me a knife after being on his podcast. I talked about how I realized I've never tried some of his knives, and he has quite a collection, let me tell you. I certainly am not borrowing one of his grails, but let's see how this feels. It's one of two things, or it's both. I don't remember. Okay, so first things first, we have. Oh, it's the ghost, and it's in this cinch bag. I think it's just the ghost. Yeah. Okay. So this is the ghost. I will have my own ghost. Spoiler alerts. I ended up getting one in terms of like having it in a deal with a Vault Pro, which I don't know if I'll bother unboxing because I'll be doing a ghost video. And I already reviewed a Vault Pro, but this is a test unit, I think. So the thing about the ghost is that it's entirely made of G10. First, let's give it away. I already know that it weighs 3.6 ounces, but I just wanted to weigh it anyways. 3.6 ounces compared to this and this, which are both under 3 ounces itself. So as far as plastic goes, this is actually kind of hefty. It's also pretty long, I think. Yeah, this is like the length of, this is a little longer than the Chimera. Comparing it to the Calico, it's longer than the Calico by a little bit. You know, it's got some tip over Chroma, and yeah, longer than the Chroma. So, Hom Ghost G10 ST, the G10 synthetic trainer. So the Ghost is actually bushings, and it has steel reinforced like plate here, so that it doesn't break, because G10 is brittle. It can crack and it can break. This actually feels really fucking cool. I don't know if jimping is possible because it's G10, and I'm like legit worried that if you try and like you know do a surface fucking grind, what the fuck am I saying? If you try and make jimping, I'm worried that it would crack and shatter. And he says that he had to go through a lot of prototypes. This actually feels really cool. Now that said, as a classic trainer, it's got a lot of tap, and it's noisy. I'm so sorry, Kyo. I love you so much. I woke him up a little bit. So I know that Zippy has a ghost silencer. That's kind of cool sounding, just out of context. I have a ghost silencer. But yeah, the ghost. Oh my god, it's just so loud. Oh, it's so loud. Yeah. This is not mine, but I will. This is the one that he's like. I know that some people's used ghosts can feel a lot worse and maybe more beat up. But it's a really cool Balisong. I know that a lot of people have sold it. It is, I want to say it's like 80 something bucks, which is pretty reasonable because G10 is definitely a lot more expensive than like 3D printed plastics. Yeah, honestly, the biggest issue is just that it just fucking is loud as shit. He did say that he managed to make at some point it with no tap, but it was just not fun, and it probably was really sluggish. I might give this just a wee screw. I don't know if I'll do a little bit just to see. It looks like T8 hardware. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. Just a little bit of a squeeze. It's got phosphor bronze washers. It's actually interesting because these washers on this side is like you can see it, and then this one you can't. But this is direct from Jerry, so it's probably gonna be as good as you can get it. It's not a brand new ghost. Yeah, it still taps, but like, yeah, I'll have to look up what the Hom Ghost silencer from Zippy looks like. As far as plastic goes, this is actually legitimately really fun. I would maybe fly with this at risk of it getting completely shattered. I don't think it'll shatter. It seems pretty durable. He also tuned into my podcast. He also showed me prototypes for a carbon fiber one and an Ultim one. So I don't know if it would be Sift and Ultim would be, I don't know, Altst. Ulst. But yeah, they were much lighter, and it just wasn't as fun. He's like, you know, you might as well just buy a Squiddy. And the Squiddy 8 is actually Ultim. Apparently, there are steel rods that help weigh it down. But yeah, I can understand that. And he loves G10. He's like, I just think G10's really cool. So, you know, exactly, power to him. He has his own creative bag. This is actually a really pretty bag. I think this is really nice. It's a good looking cinch bag. So, wait, is there something else in here? Oh, I think it's hardware. Yep, hardware, just in case. Sex bolts and pivot screws. So, let me just compare this. I'll flip a little bit. Like I've been meaning to flip the Calico more to be able to compare the Chroma. The Calico, at least right now, is like way more ass and tip weight. The Ghost is actually really, really evenly distributed weight. There's no weight hotspots, whereas the Calico, it's like all weight hotspots. Which is good for momentum for doing rollovers, but it does feel like going from the Ghost to the Calico is like a little weird feeling. Because it's just like, whoa, this feels so unwieldy. Well, holy dick. I'm sorry, Kel, I love you. Chroma is definitely a lot less weight hotspotty. This feels pretty good. And my edit's too far away, and I'm too lazy to go get it. So yeah. Compared to other plastic trainers, this is definitely a lot more evenly weighted. I think the edit is also pretty evenly weighted from what I remember. I can at some point I'm gonna make a plastic tier list. And now that I've tried a Ghost, I feel like I can actually properly make a plastic tier list. Though I'm also really excited for what Flipforge has been teasing. So, but this Ghost, there's a lot of fun to this. You cannot dye this G10 comfortably. It is jade colored. There might be other colored Ghosts, but I remember like one of my first messages to Jerry was like, "Can you dye these?" And he's like, "No." It would be so cool if you get a trans-colored one, though, or if you could just get some really sick fades in color. Yeah, because there are no pins. This is a pinsless design, unsurprisingly. Most plastic Balisongs are pinsless. It is bushings, which is cool, so you don't have to worry too much about crank. And the grip is actually quite nice. There are some of these grooves. Let's see. So there are these grooves that you can see here. It's quite nice. It's very subtle, but it feels good. As what looks like a little bit of texture, but I think that is just the G10 itself. The texture is just the grooves. Yeah, and then like the handles are just a little bit pointy-outy, like the Icarus is. So, and this blade, I don't know why there are holes at the top. I do not know, but it's cool. I don't know. We'll see. That said, because it is pinsless, it is 1000% just G10 slapping against G10. I don't know if it's like... Honestly, it looks kind of like this groove is designed to fit this curvature like perfectly, which is cool. You know, it's obviously made for it. It's just so fucking loud. It's so loud. But it feels really fun. The only thing I wish is, I wish it had jimping. I wish that with bushings it was able to like not have horrendous tap. But this is a really cool Balisong. And even other plastic Balisongs are not like this. It's very different. I think its flaws are very apparent, but as far as flipping goes, this feels 3.6 is heavier than a lot of metal Balisongs. It's heavier than the Gaboon. It's heavier than a lot of things. So yeah, I don't know. It feels really good. It also feels like it's not terribly expensive. You know, like 80 is still a lot more than like Canyon, I guess. The Canyon's like 50. The Edit Light with no bells and whistles is, I think, around 50. The Calico, I think, is monocolored, I think, is 50 ish. But also, he's in Canada, so you have to pay for Canadian shipping. And Chroma, I think, was about 60 retail before shipping. So, like, it's a little bit more expensive. That said, actually, the Squiddy A is like $70 retail. So, it's not even that much more expensive. And as far as plastic Balisongs go, I actually do enjoy this more than the Squiddy. The Squiddy A is fine, but it doesn't feel... It doesn't really pull me in any strong way, whereas I feel like the other plastic Balisongs have a bit more character to them that I feel more drawn to feel like I'm flipping it. The Squiddy A is a nice plastic flipper. It's just, it doesn't feel like it has as much interesting feeling to it, but it looks good. And the Ghost, this, I don't know, this feels, I'm having a great time flipping this. Despite its flaws, I'm having legitimately a lot of fun. And the Chimera is being really careful flipping because I fucking tried to do that and hurt myself. This flips really well. This flips legitimately really well. If the Ghost was able to have no play, I don't know if that's possible. Like, this, you get this much play. Let's see if I can show you. Like, that much is on the nicer handle. And this one's on the... Like, these washers are less thick. Get that much play. These washers are thicker, and you still get that much. So together, you're able to... You have some noticeable wiggle to it. Despite that, though, yeah. I don't know. So, legitimately, if the Ghost was not noisy, didn't have play, or mostly didn't tap, I should say. It didn't tap, and again, like, plastic Balisongs will tap, and that's, like, not a big deal. It's just how it is. There are also washers only, like, wow, yeah, the Calico taps a lot. But it's largely just because the G10 is so noisy that it feels very, like, makes my brain, ugh. But, yeah, I don't know, mostly jimping and noise is, like, the biggest factor. But I will be getting my own, theoretically, in a couple of hours whenever the post office, or whenever the truck shows up with my deliveries. So, yeah, Ghost, legitimately really fun. Very excited to own one, actually. I'm very excited to own a Chimera, too. So, shoutouts to Ham. Thank you so much for lending me this. Hopefully my Ghost does not suck a lot more than this one. This being a trainer and relatively, like, you know, the test unit in good condition. It's good. It's fun. And as of now, I recommend this. But, you know, do be aware of its flaws. And, yeah, I don't know. I think as a plastic flipper, this is actually legitimately really fun. It just kind of, it just kind of fell off the face of the earth in terms of, like, its buzz on social media. But I don't know, bring this back. I'm talking about this fucks. This is really fun. So thank you, Jerry, for lending me the Ghost, the G10ST, G10 Synthetic Trainer. Cute name, right? So yeah, shout out to Jerry Ham. Watch his interview. He is episode 4 on the podcast. And like, comment, subscribe, donate some money to the coffee. It's like a one-time Patreon. I am getting closer to 400. I'm aiming for 500 at the very least. I'm gonna aim for 1,000 eventually. So yeah, have a good time. Click that bell, get notified, and you will see the next unboxing video for whenever I get the package later today. In the meantime, look at my beautiful sleepy boy. He's so cute. I love him.